The failures of Pokemon Go Fest show how important it is for developers to engage their community so that when they're in a tough spot, fans don't expect the worst. What's up, everyone? I'm Francisco Lozano, and welcome to Glitched. If you somehow didn't hear about what happened in Chicago over the past weekend, you missed out on some riveting news. Pokemon Go Fest began at 10 a.m. on Saturday the 22nd in Chicago's Grand Park and almost immediately ran into problems. Long lines to get in were annoying but expected. What wasn't expected by the 20,000 Pokemon Go players in attendance was not being able to play the game. Andrew Reiner of Game Informer was at the festival and began live tweeting the frustration being felt throughout the event. The park was filled with Pokestops and the rare unknown Pokemon was spawning, but it seemed like nobody could keep the app open for more than 15 seconds. People did better or worse depending on which provider they had, and it later turned out that Sprint users actually had the best access since the company had set up a cellular on wheels vehicle to increase coverage. But even then, those players were struggling. Reiner tweeted that when Niantic CEO John Hank got on stage to welcome the attendees and explain the day's activities would look like, he was met with loud chants of "Fix the game!" and "We can't play!" The issue seemed only to be resolved once Niantic increased the Pokemon Go Fest special event radius by 2 miles and basically told everyone to spread out instead of staying together like one big old Pokemon family. Niantic ended up offering attendees refunds and $100 worth of Pokecoins, the in-game currency you can unlock through microtransactions. Hank wrote a long blog post after the event detailing what exactly went wrong. Obviously, there were technical issues with the networks being congested and the servers not operating properly, but Hank seemed to imply that there were forces outside of their control that were really to blame. He wrote, quote, "On the pure network access issue, we provided detailed estimates on the attendance and required data throughput per user to our event partner, who worked with the major carriers to allow them to plan for adequate coverage. Some carriers deployed cellular on wheels to extend their capacity. In other cases, the providers deemed them unnecessary based on other infrastructures already in place at the site." Hank added that plenty of other Pokemon Go events have been successful, including a recent event in the UK town of Chester, where an estimated 17,000 people showed up. Niantic has plans for future events in other countries and hopes to learn from this one to improve. As for that intricate system of players at Pokemon Go Fest completing challenges that then unlock challenges for everyone else that then have to be completed for even more challenges to be unlocked, yeah, that was confusing for us too. Well, those bonuses have been extended in the game throughout Thursday the 27th. Niantic also revealed the highly anticipated legendary raid systems where trainers can now catch Articuno, Moltres, Zapdos, and Lugia. To sum up Pokemon Go Fest, the fact that 20,000 people showed up shows just how dedicated people still are to the game that used to be played by just about everyone. It shows that Nintendo made the right decision in working with Niantic in creating this game. It also shows that Niantic's reputation of not listening to its community led to an angry crowd that assumed incompetence on their part. Had Niantic been actively involved in Pokemon Go forums and discussions from day one, GoFest attendees probably wouldn't have felt the need to chant. If they only knew that the developer in charge of the event was always working to please the audience and never had a shadow of a doubt of their dedication, they probably would have given them more slack. But even going back to Niantic's game Ingress, which came out before Pokemon Go, players felt the developer was never as receptive as they needed to be, especially with mobile games that rely heavily on online interactions. It's important for companies to be keeping an eye on what players are saying, what needs to change, and what additions they want. Niantic didn't do that for Ingress, and they certainly haven't done that for Pokemon Go. Admittedly, they have been better about responding to requests or concerns of the community in the last month or so, but had they been doing that back when the game was the biggest thing on Earth, 20,000 attendees would have been an underestimate. Had Pokemon Go launched in the state that it's currently in, you'd still expect to see groups of people with their faces in their phone walking around the park all day. Niantic had the chance to make Nintendo the king of mobile gaming in only their second attempt, but they just couldn't capitalize. If what Niantic said is true about the connectivity issues being due to service providers and not solely the game itself, there's reason to be optimistic about the next event. But one way or another, this should hopefully be a wake-up call to them that a strong relationship with your players will earn you patience and respect when you need it the most. Do you think there will be another Pokemon Go Fest, or was that the nail in the coffin that has yet to be built? Let us know in the comments down below, or talk with us at facebook.com/glitched.news. Like that page so you can stay up to date with all your gaming news. You can also visit us at watchapptv.com to see all of our past editorials, wrap-ups, and checkpoints. Spend as much time as you want enjoying our previous work because we're going on hiatus until the fall. Once we're back, though, we'll be returning to our scheduled bi-weekly episodes of Checkpoint and the 2 editorials a week, just like the good old days. Until then, this is Glitched, and I'll see you next time. See you guys in the fall. Come in here, guys. Yeah. Have a good night. John Legend, everyone.